Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans Up View this morning. I hope you're all well in the chat this morning. Quite a lot of people in already. And today is D-Day as far as the Celtic board are concerned and the Celtic fans collective, because we have a game tomorrow night. Yes, we have a game tomorrow night, and it will be the first game back after let's face it, we got lucky. We got really lucky in the cup game at the weekend. Will the Celtic board will have made contact with the Celtic fans collective today? Because they'll have to let the people know from the Green Brigade if they're getting back in tomorrow. They can't leave it until tomorrow. It's a bit too late, really, to have any kind of substantial meeting. But will the Celtic board? So I've done a poll about it, and I'm going to get your comments up. And see what people are saying. I've just shut down the wrong screens. Give me a sec, I've just lost everything. Will the board? Well, I've spoken to the fans today. Let's jump on it. All this board fans are too many agendas now. The board speaking to the Green Brigade. The Green Brigade said no. Need to go through the collective. Says DJ Kev. Interesting one this morning. Get your comments in. Didn't mind didn't the Green Brigade get invited to speak to the board last week, but declined. Yeah, but they said that it's up to they need to speak to the thank you for the coffee. They need to speak to the Celtic fans collective. And my question is, will the board have spoken to anybody? It's okay putting out statements and putting out videos saying, yes, we will speak to them. But surely you have to speak to them before the game this week. I mean, anybody could put a statement. Yeah, we'll speak to them. It's typical politician-like, isn't it? Yes, we'll make arrangements. We've contacted everyone, and we're going to be in touch, and we'll speak to them with no definite dates. There's a game coming up, and it's just passed down the table. Meanwhile, Brian Wilson's on the television, pissing about, getting asked about Epstein and shit like that. It's not really the day job, is it? We need to get focused on the day job, and don't know if the Green Brigade did decline it, because they wanted to go through the Celtic fans collective. BBC will be banned from media conference today. Will the BBC ban? Well, hope so. I hope so. If they can ban Celtic fan media, even though I don't think any Celtic fan media at a press conference said we want the board sacked. It was more their online presence about backing the Celtic fans collective. Then you had a BBC correspondent inviting our Buenos Dios into a meeting at the BBC to talk about Epstein and talk about everything Labour, and was asked about Celtic and stuff that had nothing to do with the conversation. We shall see. We shall see. I don't think the board wants to, but there's too much pressure on them. They've caused their own pressure. I mean, they folded the first sign. I mean, you could say that the boycotts had its effect, because as soon as they knew the boycott was coming, they came out and said, yeah, we'll have a conversation. And it's like I'm saying, they have to have the conversation today with anyone, not just the Green Brigade, do you know? I don't even think it has to be a meeting with the Green Brigade. Surely they could pick up the phone, or they can email them, and they'll say, right, you're back in. We'll have a meeting tomorrow, do you know? But anyway, we shall see. The board are so thin-skinned, it's unreal. Just get the Green Brigade back in the stadium. Same time, the Green Brigade will probably stick up their banners, etc. It's quite a lively one this morning, isn't it? But anyway, let me just get the news up. I'm not expecting much Celtic news this morning. Oh, there's a bit of chat about managerial stuff online today. Let's see what that one's saying. A little bit of chat about managerial situation at Celtic. Who? No chance. There is no chance. There's an online publication saying that Celtic may go for Mourinho. If, now, how do you feel about this one actually? How do you? I mean, they're talking about Ange Postecoglou first of all, saying that Celtic target Postecoglou, and if Postecoglou rejects uh, the deal at Celtic, do you really want Ange back? Yeah, I might, Callum. I might do it. I'll do it on the other channel if I'm doing it. I won't do it on this channel. I'll do it on the other channel. The Baz Does Football channel. Surely the Green Brigade did the good thing by making it about the collective. Well, that's what I've would have thought, but some people just spit their dummy. But anyway, we're going to take a break for that a minute. Would you take Ange Postecoglou back? Maybe that should be the poll this morning. Because there is a publication online that's saying that if Celtic don't get Postecoglou, they're going to go for Jose Mourinho. I mean, I don't think that. I think both them are managers that are past their best. I don't mean that Ange is past his best, but I don't think that the style of football in the European context would be great for Celtic under Ange. It wasn't the first time. Um, but anyway, we'll wait and see. Jose's a spent force. His best years are behind him. No chance, no chance, no chance, no chance, no chance. We take a draw for Hearts tonight. Yeah. I mean, would you no to Mourinho? No, sorry. This is the biggest run of games in years. We need all fans back and Martin to back Martin and the team and bring back the atmosphere and make Celtic Park a fortress again. See that I like that mentality, Scott. But even though the Green Brigade would get back in, will the fans that have been there all this time without the Green Brigade being there, will they all of a sudden join in song? That's my question. Because they've proven to everyone that they are highly incapable of creating an atmosphere at Celtic Park without the Green Brigade. So then it then nullifies the who the hell do the Green Brigade think they are? They think they're better than any other supporter. Well, mate, you've had since November to sing and create an atmosphere at Celtic Park. So the conversation to know is kind of null and void by anybody who criticises the Green Brigade now. You've kind of people that criticise the Green Brigade for banners, for songs, have shot themselves in the foot because they had ample opportunity. Defo take Ange back. We fancy Roberto Martinez. That's who my money's on. That's who mine is. Did the Ange thing, didn't work in Europe. I'd take a draw in their next two games. That would be a good one. Porto, enough said. I mean, is Porto enough? Roberto Martinez is still the biggest favourite. He's still my favourite. Would work well with Maloney. Lauren says the guy from the Green Brigade posted online last night that they are not back in tomorrow night. They are not back in tomorrow night. Well, that's disappointing. We're turning into Tavernier here, being Mr. Disappointed. Ange isn't coming back. I think Ange couldn't do any more than his first time. Look at the dross he left us with. Hope ass this morning by DJ Kev. Ange isn't coming back. I take Ange back in an instant, especially the current state of the squad and the club. But, well, that just to go back to Kev's comment. Defo, I didn't record this one. Defo don't want Ange. It's an interesting one. From Martin to Jose would be some kind of crazy irony. It would be, wouldn't it? The board would be delighted if Ange came back. It'd be an easy option for them, and to save Desmond to actually having to do some hard work, the lazy Motherwell manager. Good evening from Oz. Is it evening? I've no idea. Well, Jose can just do one. And in a heartbeat back, it was exciting football, and the signings, even under Mourinho, I think, as a class manager. Exciting football under Ange. He brought us in Rio Hatate. I'm just saying, we've had one good season out of Rio Hatate. Martinez sounds a good hire. I think all spotlights is looking at from a fan's perspective. Why did that just pop up? From a fan's perspective, everything is kind of looking at Jose Mourinho. Maureen would destroy our club with his antics. Definite no to Ange. Yes, if no one better. Maybe Jose has one last dance to win us the Europa and Champions League back to back. But what if Martin does it? I mean, I know that there's a high probability that it won't happen. But what if Martin was to redeem himself from 2003? Surely that would be enough for the fans to go, we don't need Jose Mourinho. Martin did it on his own without playing a team that was cheating. We got enough cheating and cheating officials in Scottish football, thank you very much. Spot on, give the Motherwell guy a chance. He's ahead of the rest, knowing how corrupt Scottish officials are. We need unity, especially for this run. Well, there is no unity tonight because the Green Brigade. The Green Brigade aren't back in. So there you go. A lot of people. I'm going to have to get this on full screen. I'm going to have to get this on full screen. Oh, right. I do not condone violence to Scottish referees. I have to put this out there as a pre-warning. And if you have a disposition against violence first thing in the morning, please turn away now. Come on, just play the bloody thing. This is what should have happened at that game. I'm going to have to jump straight to the end of the comments after that. Oh my days. Oh, Jesus God. Oh, man. Oh, that's one of the... Sometimes you just switch something on online. Oh, my days. That was hilarious. Right, let's get back. If Maloney doesn't get the job, it's because a bigger name comes in, says Big Chewy. This is very true, Big Chewy. I think it could be the case that his old boss is coming in. Why am I so red this morning? Probably after that laughter. Yeah, it could be the case. I mean, would Sean Maloney? I don't think Sean Maloney wants the number one job. I kind of he's kind of said that, hasn't he? But and then if we go on a good run, but listen, it's all hearsay because if we get beat and we get put out everything by the end of March, people will say, don't go near Sean Maloney. But anyway, a lot of people loving the hilarity this morning on that video. We are done with recycling managers once Martin decides he's had enough. Yeah, I think that's true, Gav boy. I think that we do need to go forward. There seems to be this, and it's not just Celtic. Do you know, managers seem to do the rounds in Scottish football. You know, there's not many managers come from out, and this is what's holding the game back in Scotland. I definitely think that that's what holds the game back and has it to this physical. Let's get big 6 foot guys in and let's play the defensive backs 5-6 against Celtic. Let's play anti-football for the best part 80 minutes against big teams, and then we'll go on attack. I do think that the regurgitation of managers within the SPFL. I mean, look at Derek McInnes, for instance. Don't know, he's been passed around more times than a gas cooker down Buchanan Street. Don't know. It's not healthy for the Scottish game, I don't think. And yes, you could say, well, if a manager's doing good, he progresses up. But I mean, going from Kilmarnock to Aberdeen, then Hearts, he's not really going up a level anywhere. Any one of those clubs he could have pushed. Well, he did with Aberdeen. He had Aberdeen in cup finals against Celtic. So I just think that when a new manager does come in, like the Motherwell manager, you know, comes from outside, and it looks like Aberdeen are about to appoint a manager from outside Scotland as well. So fair play to them. And it's good to see that clubs are like that, rather than going down the route of giving ex-players jobs. You know, jobs for the boys stuff. You didn't get a job on telly. You didn't get a job on Sky or the BBC. All right, we'll get you in. I mean, you can even see Neil Lennon. I mean, Neil Lennon at Dunfermline. I mean, that's going down. That's going just down levels. I mean, even if he was to manage to get Dunfermline up into the SPFL, does he just get regurgitated into another job within the SPFL? Is there any club that would take him in the SPFL after Dunfermline? I don't really think so. Don't think so. But anyway, when are UEFA, FIFA are going to look at match betting fixing by refs and officials in Scotland? It's the only way to expose them. I don't think that refs are betting, and I'm sure if they were, it would be found out. Chris, good morning to you, or afternoon to you. You're the second person from Australia this morning, but I've no idea what time it is. Um, mm, if you play with I don't want to get. I heard it, Johnny boy. I heard it with the sound on. I mean, we can. Will we play it again for those who may have been late to the party? Let's just do it again, just purely for entertainment. This is purely for entertainment reasons. That under no circumstances do I condone violence against Scottish football or Scottish football officials. Just putting that out there as a legal thing, just in case I fly home one day and get lifted. There we go. Oh!
This is caviar, Jules.
I need to get. Oh, I can't shot again. We get closed down.
This is caviar, Jules.
Anyway, that was on Twitter. Just saying, just before anybody tries to say anything, it was on Twitter, and that was the only reason that I'm showing it. But there's a lot of comments. Douglas Ross shouldn't be anywhere near Scotland. Never mind Scottish football. The refs would shite it from Jose. Maybe right. That's made my day hilarious. It made my morning. Made my morning. It's set up perfectly for him to take over. Martin O'Neill is in to steady the ship, which gives time for Maloney to get to grips with the job from behind the scenes in time for him to plan for next season's transfers. That's an interesting one, Big Tree, but I still think that Celtic will go for a bigger name manager, because I think if do we sell out Celtic? This is no disrespect to Sean Maloney, but do we sell out Celtic Park as Sean Maloney as manager, or is it another season like we had under Ronnie Dyler? You know, Celtic will know that they need to get a big name manager to put bums on seats to get us into the Europa or the Champions League, depending on where we finish up at the end of the season. With that as well, we have to remember he lost half his team. Juranovic, Moy, Jota, Abada, Starfield, Wakamakis, the Grumpy Greek, and won everything. I would love a manager. But Ange also told you, Jill, he says, do not get too attached to your stars. He knew the Celtic business model. He knew as soon as a player was worth 15 million and above that Celtic would be taking the cash and running. Hence the reason that Ange Postecoglou says, well, what's the difference between spending 2 million on a player and 10 million on a player? If you want to turn around the player to be better, with 10 million, you're supposedly getting a better standard of player. You know, so Ange had his faults as well, remember, because when Aaron Moy, he didn't lose Aaron Moy. Aaron Moy left when Brendan came in. Because it was then under Brendan Rodgers, because remember, Matt O'Reilly wanted away that summer. And Brendan Rodgers had to convince him to stay at Celtic. So Aaron Moy kept Matt O'Reilly out of the team. And then Matt O'Reilly played absolutely phenomenal under Brendan Rodgers. We already had the backup players there, you know, so we don't tend to have that now. But anyway, you never know, we can get big hands back at Celtic. I don't really want them. Marquee managers seldom work. Just ask Man United. Yeah, this is true. McInnes is still sniffing for the Huns job after he rejected it. Did the Green Brigade offered a meeting? I don't know. I don't think so. Lauren was the one that said, I should have stamped that. Lauren said that the Green Brigade said online last night that they are not in the game tomorrow night. Spot on, Baz. That's what I was held their lead back for years. Scottish teams not willing to look outside Scotland. Was the same boring dinosaurs doing the rounds. Here's another one from Sydney. It's 7:49 p.m. That was probably 5 minutes ago that he posted that. So it's a bit later now. Good morning to everyone in Australia. Good evening. Good evening. Good morning and good evening. That's what I need to say. Well, it didn't work well with the last manager, did it? The last manager that came from outside Scotland. That opens up a whole can of worms. I mean, would the Wilfred Nancy experiment have worked if he had been given a pre-season and time to adjust the team, rather than adjusting the team in the middle of a season? And that was his downfall. That was Wilfred Nancy's downfall. Expecting so much in such a short period of time from a bunch of players that had played the same system for the best part of 10 years. So that one was on Wilfred Nancy. I don't think it was on Wilfred Nancy's system. I still think that he plays a system that would have suited Celtic in the long term. But his inability to see reason with the players and just keep the winning momentum going. He believed that he could turn things around. He didn't realise the depth. I don't think he understood. I don't think he even fucking knew a thing about Celtic before he came. This bullshit. Hey, I've followed Celtic. No, you haven't. Shut up, you. You big lanky plonker. You know, he came in like Rodney Trotter. Don't know, it was just one mistake from the other. But I think given time and it may have worked, but then you don't know. You don't know. Anyway, a lot of people still laughing. Would a fully fit Alistair Johnston be good enough to get a place due to Nancy? Wonder signing Araujo. Well, he played under Wilfred Nancy, and you do need a big squad of players. So I don't know. Don't know. Wilfred Nancy is interested in returning to Celtic after placing himself in the naughty corner for being a total walloper. Is Maloney going to change our style and play with new players or stay with the same? Need to be a better option. It can. It does get better the more you watch that thing, doesn't it? It's just even funnier. Would Sean Maloney change our system? I think that when you see some of the teams, the way that we're lining up, it looks as if next season, I mean, Brendan Rodgers did it at the beginning of this season. He started off a 4-2-3-1. And I think that that's a formation better suited to Scottish football and European football, and you're not having to make too many changes. The fact is that you play one style of football in Scotland, and then when you go to Europe, you're trying to play that same game, but you're playing against better players. So you're kind of getting caught out in position. I think a 4-2-3-1 formation would be better in a European context because it then makes you a bit heavier in midfield. It could give you a 5 in midfield if need be, which would steady the ship and allow you to break forward quite quick with the two wingers. I think Sean Maloney will go down. Martin O'Neill's tried it this season as well with Sean Maloney, obviously. So I think that you will see Celtic playing a more 4-2-3-1 formation next year, depending who the manager is. And is a manager going to come in and completely change it, like what Wilfred Nancy has? And then he's got the summer. And then we've got all the issues of all the players that are leaving, all new players coming in to adjust to a new system. Will the Celtic fans give them a chance if they don't get it right on the first day of the season? You know, it's such a big gamble. Seen on YouTube, the cost involved in the new stadium was 350 million. New stand, 150 million. Would pay for itself with 8,000 fans. The board holding this back too. I don't think that it's ever this conversation about increasing the size of the stadium needs to stop. And it might not be what every Celtic fan wants to hear, but until Celtic fans start staying to the 90th minute, like they do in many other countries around the ground, in many other countries, you watch telly and you'd hardly ever see 10, 15, 20,000 fans leaving with 5 minutes to go, 10 minutes to go. There's no appetite for Celtic to sit and add another 8,000 fans for 4,000 of them to leave the stadium half empty with 10 minutes to go. There is no appetite for it at all. Celtic fans are their own worst nightmare. They want everything and they want it plated in gold, but they don't want the reality. And that's fact. Do you know, they want the best managers, they want the best players, without the reality of the finances of the club. And even they want change of board directors without actually thinking about what that really means. And the next people that come in will just be puppets for Dermot Desmond. They want a stadium that looks nice, new, and like a modern, fancy stadium. But you're going to get 8,000 people that are allegedly on the waiting list, that when games, you see, I mean, I know there was a boycott, but you see, if there is the waiting list is the biggest fabrication of fucking truth at Celtic Park ever, if you ask me. And I don't think that there is anywhere near the size that Celtic fans think it is. And then Celtic take it alone for 150 million. Add this, make the stadium look all nice and big and beautiful and all the rest of it, chunky monkey stuff. And then this 20,000 fans leave with 10 minutes to go. It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. Don't know. So you either take the stadium and back the team until the 90th minute, or you walk out with 10, 15 minutes to go, it goes to extra time, and then you're scrambling, banging on the door, going, please sir, can I have some more? And trying to get back into the stadium. Most games, they would never let you back into the stadium. Once you go out, you're out. You know, you're not getting back in to get your seat. No, mate, you left. Tough shit. You know, so that's interesting. Whoever we bring in as manager will be on the cheap. Nothing will change under this board. Supporters will be screwed over again. Is Sean Maloney the cheap option, Chris, that you maybe be hinting to? Sean doesn't see himself as manager. He's already said it, committed to a 2-year working alongside the setup. He wants to stay at Celtic long term. He's committed to the club overall. Yeah, he wants to get his old job back. It's a nice cushy number, and he feels that, really? Are you not feeling well this morning, Michael? Are you not feeling well this morning? You ill? Must be. I don't think Moy or Rogic did have another season playing Ansball. They both said if that had left. Yeah, they did. It's more the signings and the transfer market the fans have a problem with rather than the board. Nicholson has proven he can't deal with the transfers, so full new scouting and the people involved. Martin O'Neill and Brendan Rodgers are marquee signings. Well, if you listen to any interview with Martin O'Neill, he said there was far bigger names than him at the time that were in the shout for the Celtic job. And Dermot Desmond wanted Martin. He didn't think he was going to get the Celtic job. There was far bigger names, and that's Martin O'Neill's words himself. Lennon will be back. Lennon will be back when he's 70 to bring back the Thunder. O'Neill is struggling at the moment, but it's not his fault. It's the players. Not in a million years. Pretty obvious it's going to be Clark and Maloney. How to ruin everyone's Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and Hoopsaholic says it's going to be Clark and Maloney. If it is, anybody want to buy a YouTube channel? Nancy just didn't get it. No, that was not Nancy's fault. It was the board's fault. It was the board's fault that they brought in Nancy. Brendan Rodgers wasn't an elite level manager, marquee due to his wages, but no one convinced me that that horseshoe and a game of passy between centre backs and goalkeeper worked as an elite manager. I'm sorry. No French African coach should manage Celtic, in my opinion. Wow, why not? That's a comment that I never thought I would see, Mikey boy, but okay. So you would never take Edouard back if he turns out to be a fantastic manager. You wouldn't take French Eddie back if he turns out to be one of the biggest elite managers in the next 10, 15 years. Wow. Only 2 teams in the last 100 years have won a World Cup with setups like Wilfred's. It works in the MLS but doesn't work on the big stage where it matters. Nancy's first half against Rangers was the best I've seen out of the players, but they complained about how tough his training was. Michael, that is spot on. But ultimately, we got hammered. You know, it was a great first half, but then the players just I am not putting that comment up. I'm going to jump through some of these quite this morning. Good morning to you, Jed. Given Maloney's previous two managerial stints, the board would not give him a long contract. It would be a year rolling. That's if they offer him the job. Don't care where the manager comes from as long as he knows what he's doing. Wim Janssen. Well, he wasn't an elite manager, but he was a very well respected manager. Martinez played 4-3-3, attractive football, and his record with Portugal has been unbelievable with an ageing team. There's the Irishman in Porto when you need him. Because he has his thumb on the button, as they say, when it comes to his finger on the pulse when it comes to everything Portuguese. Celtic fans are the most entitled fans in the world, has to be said. Yeah, it's some people don't like you saying it. They don't like you saying it. And it's fucking Celtic dapper. Yeah, you fucking old cunt. I'm going to jump through the comments because somebody's created mayhem. I've been waiting 5 years on a season ticket, says Ian. Do you make contact, Ian, with Celtic every summer? Or just do you wait on Celtic getting in contact with you to say you've been offered a ticket? I'm seriously interested. Callum says Hibs 2-1 tonight. No way will this board increase the stadium size when a belligerent fan base can boycott. Wish we had an option to buy the left back. He's solid. Could you imagine him and CCV together? It'd be frightening. I am jumping through the comments. Do you think so, Gel? I'm not too sure. It's probably just more a career of it's not a career, it's just a lifetime of following Celtic. Anybody could do this that follows Celtic for as long as what I have. Do you know there's other channels out there they've got a bunch of old geezers on them that have supported Celtic longer than me and are very, very intelligent about what is needed for Celtic. What about Michael O'Neill's manager? He was linked with it before. Some depressing names being linked here. Tell me about it. Gus Hiddink was about to be announced. That is very true. That is very true. Gus Hiddink was about to. Thank goodness someone remembered that. Yeah, Gus Hiddink was about to be. He was well down the road for being Celtic manager when they brought in O'Neill, didn't they? That's a long time ago. That's why I believe Roberto Martinez will get the job. Has experience at high level in coaching with Maloney as number 2. Remembered what Martinez was tech director with Belgium. I'm jumping. Sorry. I'm jumping through comments because it's poof. Anyone saying Celtic fans are the most entitled fans clearly not to play games or fod on modern geek fandom. Playing games. It's the comments this morning. Big Chewy, could you enlighten us on that one? There are way more entitled fans out there. Of course there is. Man United fans. I mean, if you want to talk about an enlightened prawn sandwich brigade, you go no further than Manchester United. You know? But we are becoming said club. When did want to be the best for your team become entitled? It's made up nonsense to keep opinions silent. No, there's a want for the betterment. Right, here's an argument, a counter argument. Where is that comment? I've lost it. Even the comments fly up. Brian Wilson, the head of... Stop commenting. I can't find that comment now. No, can't see it. We're entitled the title. Oh, Derek, they send an email saying that you've been unsuccessful this year, but you're kept on the list. Ah, there we go. Big tree. Anyone saying that Celtic fans are the most entitled fans, clearly they're not playing any. I've done that one. There are way more entitled fans out there. Or that. We cannot afford to wait until August for Martinez. Kaiser's in the house. Let the Green Brigade back in. They're not getting back in tomorrow night. It's been said. Robbie Keane or Craig Bellamy? Spurs fan. Oh, yeah, Spurs fans. Didn't even get talking about them. I want a manager announced by the 1st of June. We'll wait and see. Spurs have the top entitled fans. We all know why that is. It's not the entitlement, it's a mentality of champions. We want and expect to win everything. That's how we roll. Anyway, Brian Wilson, head of legal, Georgian Campbell, will represent Celtic in talks with the supporters as Nicholson looks to be heading for the door. That's interesting. Scott does have his finger on the pulse with this kind of stuff. He has said for a while. He has said for a while that he reckons that. But why wait to the end of the season? Why wait to the end of the season? That's my worry. Brian Wilson and head of legal George Campbell will represent Celtic in talks with the supporters groups as Nicholson looks to be heading for the door. Motherwell won't be allowed to beat the Huns. Totally off topic, but never mind. The comments have been absolutely bonkers this morning. Right, how are we faring this morning? A little bit further back than normal, but it's okay. The poll question, forgot to even put that in. Will the board let the Green Brigade back in tomorrow? 36% said yes, 64% said no. The no has won it. The eyes to the left, so yes, the nose to the right. They've said no. But anyway, the Green Brigade aren't getting back in. So we'll wait and see. Anyway, that is me done and dusted for this morning. I will do a watch along on another channel tonight for the Edinburgh Derby. I need to start doing other watch alongs because it seems to be I seem to be picking a lot of Hearts games. But anyway, big thank you to Irish Angelo in West Oz. Big shout out to Chris coming out of Oz also, and a big shout out to Robert, who is in Sydney. Big up all you Celtic fans all around the world.